Yes, it's here, man. Yeah.
Yeah, just come with the money.
No, right now.
Eat it. Start make money, you feel careful, you happen. When you start make money, you feel careful, you happen. Friends now wish you good, them we fling you in a coffee. When you start make money, you feel careful. Start make money, you feel careful. When you start make money, you feel. When you start make money, you feel. Money build friend and it kill friend, dog.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? Welcome to a special edition of the biggest, show in the land. The Fat Joe Show, the big show. Lucky Lefty was good. I'm getting to my special guest right now, my new BFF. We're gonna run it up. UFO Feed, what's good? John the check-in. Breon, what's good, my brother? Welcome to the biggest show in the land. I got a big guest. When I talk about big, I'm talking about huge. Huge. An American icon. Shout out to Ciroc, Much Finer Vodka, Wild Cherry Pepsi. Do me a favor, take that Ciroc and spread it out under your ears. Ready? Go us professional. Just spread it out, Rich. You can do that for now. Yeah. Thank you. Yo, Drew!
It's your BFF here, your new.
Listen, never mind your Rich. Come here. Never mind me, Drew, because my daughter. I'm sorry.
By the way, half the fun of Instagram Live is watching. Hi.
Yeah. Put it on because it feels heavy.
Figure it out.
My daughter is the executive producer. Open that up. We're having a hard time. This is embarrassing. Okay, open this.
No, it's not.
Put it in.
All right. I'm sorry.
I watched Sheryl Sandberg. He had a Facebook. She was like struggling starting Instagram Live. So,
No, I don't really struggle. It's my daughter's the executive producer. She really takes care of this stuff. And so I'm sorry about that, yo, Rich.
Run
Out of here.
Instagram early.
I'm sorry.
Oh, please. That's the whole point of Instagram Live. Like the first few minutes is everybody going like, wait, how does this work? How do I do this? What is it?
Okay. I'm so sorry. Yo, Drew, once again, welcome to the big. That was as ghetto as it gets. And listen, I had such a great time showing you around the Bronx the other day. It was an amazing time with you. You have such a beautiful soul and personality about you. I feel like I knew you my whole life. Shout out to Cypress Hill. A lot of people are in the check-in now. Drew.
Cypress Hill is here?
No, Cypress Hills is watching you right now.
No.
And I'll momentarily be shouting some people out. Team Assad, DJ Khaled's son, Assad is on the check-in. The world. This is the biggest show in the land, Drew. Drew, how do you feel with the launch of your new show, your new talk show on TV? Tell me about this.
You know, I feel it's our season 2. We learned a lot in season 1. I feel like we can take all of that we've learned and we have an audience now. I'm able to go on a tour with you. It's like I'm getting to do things that we weren't allowed to. And so sometimes I think that when create something challenging, those challenges can be the that could have happened because sometimes the confinement, not getting to do things they should be, will make you your own lane and give you time to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
happened to the show has been.
Drew, you coming in and out. Maybe you got to get a little closer.
How's this? Okay.
Yes.
Too close. Is this good?
Can we spot a booger or something? Yeah. Drew, and so your whole life, right? Your whole life you've been in Hollywood, right? And so your dad was in the business, and then you went straight into the business as a kid, and no matter what you do on earth, we'll always know you for ET. Like, I mean, you've accomplished so many things, but ET. Like I told my dad, I left my dad and my mom's, and I was talking to him in Spanish. He's Cuban, and I was like, this girl, she's so big. She just, I was like, ET. He was like, oh, the little girl from ET in Spanish. I was like, the little girl from ET. What? I mean, do you even remember what that was like, Drew? Like back in them days?
Yeah, very.
You remember? You got memories of that?
Very vividly, actually.
Tell us about
it. It was like the first time I knew what having people around and like family type of, you know, environment. Because I grew up with a single mom, and our house was a bit lonely and quiet, and I loved the buzziness of ET. And Steven Spielberg treated all the kids like not patronizingly. He believed in us, and he spoke to us in a way that was so respectful, and we felt like we mattered. And a lot of people baby kids, they talk to them in a way where you feel like no kid wants to be called a kid, and he empowered us to work hard and feel good about what we were doing, and be brave and have a sense of humor and wonderment. And he was just the best person I've ever met at that point in my life. And he made me really believe in humans and humanity and goodness from people. And he's still someone who I'm close with, thank God. And I just took my daughter over to his house for dinner, and he asked her to do the line "Alligators from the Sewers." And it was like a circle of life moment to watch him like coach and direct my daughter Frankie.
That's kind of my next question, Drew. Right? Like, so you grew up in a family royalty of Hollywood, and now your kids. You have 2 kids, right? Do you want them to come up in Hollywood as actors and actresses, or do you want them to do their own thing, like, because it's so hard to follow up such a great, like, you're a living legend, you're an icon, Drew. Like, it's so much pressure on a kid to come up behind you like that.
That's first of all, thank you. I don't see myself that way, but if
we
do.
We're not crazy.
In your eyes, then I'm very happy, because you're a living legend, and I mean that with all of my heart. I don't really care what my kids do as long as they get to be kids and then make that decision for themselves when they're older. I think I've made a very conscious decision not to include them in my social media. I have baggage with my own childhood so I wouldn't change a thing. I love my childhood. But because of my upbringing, it's given me more sensitivity to exposing them and having them ever say to me, like, why did you do that? Or, believe me, they don't. They want to be exposed. They're like, we want to be on your social media. We want to be on your show. And I'm like, I totally get it. You can enjoy TikTok. You can be on social media. You can be current and cool. And they are. They're really cool. But I'm like, you have to grow and develop into a sound mind and become your own people. And then I'll support whatever it is you want to do, as long as it's safe and healthy. But so if they wanted to be actors, that's fine. I'm 3, I just didn't want to put them out there too soon. So I want it to be their choice.
Because I feel now with us being celebrities for so long and with social media, it's like we got to post our sandwich. We got to post what we're doing. And with me, hip hop music is so competitive. And, you know, I got into a lot of rap beefs when I was growing up. It's normal. But I always protected my son Joey, my eldest son. He's autistic. So I didn't really like to post him or put him out there like that because it could get really nasty. So out of protecting him or making me go crazy, I wouldn't show him like that. But now that I'm like, you know, the OG and I don't get into this stuff, I can show him now and stuff like that. So I understand why you're cautious about this.
That makes me feel really good to hear you say that. And I definitely think when my kids are ready, it's hard because it's like you're hiding the most important part of your life. So it's a tough decision to make. And I understand why people want to share their lives. I get it. I don't judge it. It's just, I can't wait until they're old enough where it feels right. And that's not a number. It's just a time in life when they present themselves to me to be more developed people and it feels right. And I'm totally with you. I wanted to wait and not regret. I wanted to wait and then feel when that spirit moves me. But they want to be on it. They love it. They think it's super fun.
Of course they want to be on it.
Me the Doberman. And because I'm like a Doberman with them. I'm so protective.
Gotta be.
And I also want them to kind of feel that level of protection that life in the fast lane, life on social media doesn't give people. It's so outward and so extrovert. I want them to feel that I'm like a human armor and shield. And if they understand what that feeling is like, maybe they'll be drawn to other people who protect them too.
That's right. I feel the same way. It's up to us to protect them, even if we're the fun killers and they get upset all they want. But we know it's a really cruel world out here. In the comments, everybody keeps saying Firestarter, Firestarter.
Oh,
Firestarter.
God, I love that movie so much.
That's your favorite?
It's definitely one of my favorites because when you're a kid and you get to have that superpower, it really emboldened me. And I was such a rebel anyway that it's like Firestarter and the show I got to do, Santa Clarita Diet, are very true to me because as much as I'm an optimist and into the goodness and the treatment and the kindness and the care of humans, which is really my mission in life. On the flip side of my record, you said Cypress Hill was in the house. Like, I went and spray painted my ex-boyfriend's car while listening to Cypress Hill. Like, you know, if you poke me, I bite back. I am the Doberman. So I liked Firestarter. I was like, that's right. I'm going to throw a fireball at you, or Santa Clarita Died. I was like, you know, many times so as much as I'm like flowery, I really do relate to like the dog that bites back.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Me, I'm loving, I'm humble, I love everyone, but I'll bite back. Like to a fault too, because prior, I remember when I had my things with 50 Cent, when we squashed it with brothers now, he had told me, yo, I could go at you any day and I knew you would snap back. And so when your enemies know that you'll respond right back, it could work against you.
Yeah, as I've gotten older, I have learned not to react as fast. If I take a step back and then I come to talk to somebody about something, I'm so much more articulate and calm and a better person and the version of myself I want to be. And whenever I react in the moment, I'm just like, oh, damn it. I failed that again. I overreacted. And it's amazing how much like you just get better as you get older. When you're a kid and young, you're invincible and immortal and an idiot. It's like you don't know yet how to handle situations. We're all learning. And but I think I'll always have that rebel in me. I don't know if it's an issue with authority figures or
Now, you know,
like,
Drew, you're like good crazy. Like, you're like the friend that's good crazy. That you're the coolest in the world, but we know Drew, she don't play with us.
yeah. And by the way, don't mess with any of my friends because I really will come at you. That really ruffles my feathers. I have to talk myself down a lot. I get very fiery, and I'm uber emotional and passionate, but that really is drowned out by the voices that's about, you know, we're here on this planet to take care of each other. I feel a total divine intervention about goodness and just taking care of each other. I don't know how else to put it. I do believe that we're here for that, and that you can't let that, you know, other side be the dominant side. It's okay that all of us have our little inner rebels for sure, but the dominant side has to be the peacekeeper or the lover of other humans. And that is alive and true. But
Shout out my good friend Anthony Ramos. He's the new star in Transformers. You love Anthony?
Oh,
He's
my
a great
God,
guy.
yes,
He's
I
on
love
the
him.
check-in.
Hi, Anthony. I'm such a fan. I really am. And I'm so happy that everybody's so just mad for you right now, that everybody is appreciating everything you're putting out into the world. And it's so well deserved.
You know, I have a little small role on Monday in the Adam Sandler movie, a cameo. Shout out my boy Joe Bessie. Tell us about you and Adam Sandler. You know, you guys did so many classics together. You've been working together for so long. What is the chemistry between you and Adam Sandler where it works so much?
That's a beautifully posed question. I think chemistry is all about admiration. And it's like, you know, Adam and I have never dated. We've only been friends. I love his wife, Jackie. I've watched his daughters grown up. We're family. We're almost like brother and sister, but we're just, I admire him so much. And I stalked him. I just said, listen, I know we're supposed to be together. I forced him to have coffee with me. I showed up with my purple hair and my leopard coat, looking like a vintage, you know, weirdo. And he showed up in the same thing he wears today, long shorts and a long t-shirt. And I said, look, I know we don't look like a match, but we are. I just know it. And I think people have to kind of reach out to people that they have such, oh, you saw Doppelganger on TV. I just watched the comment. That was the weirdest movie ever. I mean, just the weirdest. You have to tell people that you have an instinct or a desire, or you should try to collaborate with people, really believe it. And I believed in Adam so much, and I'm just lucky that he believed in me back. And we found The Wedding Singer as our first project. I came to him and said he had the script of 50 First Dates, which was 50 First Kisses at the time. And it was a drama, but I had read the script and I knew it, and I chased it for years. And I was like, this is supposed to be our next one. I know it. And with Blended, he was just like, this one's kind of new for us. We'd be parents, but we're parents in real life. Should we just do this? And it just fell into place. But we've really fought the good fight to find the right things at the right time, and not just throw stuff at the wall and hope it sticks. And it's worth fighting to work with the people you believe you're supposed to work with.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes I did it. I took a cheap shot at Drake last night. We had dinner with him and my brother Khaled, and I was like, "Man, do you think the world will ever hear a Drake Fat Joe song?" And he was like, "Man, I knew I came here for a reason." I'm like, "Yo, sometimes you gotta take that shot and throw it in the air." I know he heard me, you know.
He was always making albums. Like when we did The Wedding Singer, he would like go off to a studio or a trailer, and same with 51st Dates. He was so prolific about making albums. And I mean, with you and Khaled hanging out, you know, feels like very inspired times.
That's crazy. I wanted to ask you, this 51st Dates, right? Like, do you think there's a man out there alive in real life that can pull that off? Do you think that story exists in real life? Like a man trying to convince, you know, and acting like it's a 50. Do you think there's a good guy somewhere that would actually do that in real life?
I read, my character reads a book at the beginning of the movie that we established she reads every day because it's the same day every day. And I chose the book Still Life with Woodpecker by Tom Robbins because in the first chapter it says, this is a book asking the question, how do you make love stay? So probably not. It's a movie. So, you know, it's setting up ridiculous expectations, of course. And there's even the scene where Maya Rudolph is like mad at her husband, like, you wake up every day and try to convince her that, you know, that you're in love with her and wait for her to come around. And then she like slaps her husband. She's like, what? You don't even open the car door anymore. So I do think that there's like a heightened sort of impossible to live up to standard about that film. But what I love about it is in a relationship, if you decide to stay with someone for a long time, I hope you do find something every day to be nice to them about, let go of, find something fresh about them. As much as it seems like impossible, the lengths he goes to, I do wish that people had a daily reminder to appreciate each other in a relationship, be good to each other, remember the good thing about each other and not that I want to just pick on this and fight about this. I haven't had any luck. I'm still single for many years. And I do know that if we talk all the time about how we're supposed to be so nice to each other and have each other's backs, we have to do that when we're in relationships too. And I do think people, you know.
Well, you know, I believe there's somebody. I'll tell you a story, right? One of my famous stories. When I was growing up in the Bronx, I took you around there near the projects. I would look out the window. I would look out the window every day to find out what the weather was. And every morning before I went to school, I would see this little woman. She's a short, let's just say full-figured Spanish woman with this tall, skinny black man. Tall, skinny. And they would hold hands every day and walk to the bus stop. I guess they were husband and wife. And they would walk to the bus stop together every day, and they were so in love. They would just kiss each other walking down this thing. And I knew at that point that there's always somebody for somebody. Like, God always makes somebody for somebody. So sooner or later, Drew, somebody will come sweep you off your feet, and he'll be a Prince Charming. You know what I'm saying? He'll be the right one. It's I think genetically, DNA-wise, it just lines up. And you be like, yeah, this is my guy. You know what I'm saying? I like this guy. He'll be the one. And
Well,
personally, I think
I am a romantic Joe, and that's why I love the question, because I think 50 First Dates, your question, is an opportunity to prompt people to hold each other's hands, or leave a little flower on someone's pillow, or write them a note every day, or back off when things are getting heated up and you be the other person. So we need 5. We need 5. We're going to be better in 5. I don't know what it is, but one day, little tiny thing that couples could do for each other. I believe in that. I think it's necessary for stability.
and even I don't believe in if you argue, terrible argument, right? And you go to sleep. I believe in when you wake up the next day, it's a brand new day. You can't bring yesterday's argument into today. It's always been a secret.
Do you mean yesterday's prices is not today's prices?
Yo, Jill, let me tell you, that's getting out of hand. I'm walking through the airport. Old ladies are like, yesterday's price are not today's. I mean, unbelievable. It appeals to so many different people for so many different reasons.
I love it.
Charlie's Angel. We almost done. Charlie's Angel. Tell me about that role in Charlie's Angel.
When I was a kid, my mom used to take me to like tap, jazz, ballet, and I hated it. I didn't fit in square. I didn't have the body type. My ballet teacher was, had no time for me. I didn't fit the mold, emotionally and physically. Really, I mean, the rebel in me was just like, I was a scowler, and jazz and the dance class. I didn't feel like I fit in. And then my mom took me to karate, and it was like Dorothy walks out and Oz goes to color. I finally found my people. It didn't matter what you physically were like. It was about unity and capability and kind of a place to work stuff out and skill and love. And I think it did something to me. It liberated me in a way that it's what inspired Charlie's Angels. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are or what you look like. You can be a butt kicker. You can be funny. You can be capable. You can have a skill set. You can do all these things. And so when we're kids and we feel so vulnerable in so many situations, we're the one that makes us feel empowered. And I think Charlie is sort of like an ode to through it. Find your tribe, find your little power. And especially for girls, I don't know how it is for guys, but while you're kicking butt, I talked about this last night, and we're girls. We never stop communicating and thinking. We're overthinkers of everything. And also, if you're gonna be a butt kicker, don't be an angry butt kicker. Be funny and make jokes and have people's backs, but you don't have to be like an angry man as a woman in the action world. And I think that movie for me is a perfect metaphor for find what works for you and be that to its fullest. And don't try to fit into molds that don't make you feel good about yourself. I never thought I would get to do an action movie. Never thought in my wildest dreams. I'm not the tallest. I'm not the most strong. I'm goofy. And yet we tailor-made it to make you feel fun and empowered. And it was a dream come true. And created that dream. We had fun with it. So it's the best experience of my life. Plus, I'm still so close with Cameron and Lucy. They're my family. That was also a great time in the year 2000 to have a film that didn't have gossip about girls fighting like that. it was like, good. Where is the sisterhood in Hollywood we're craving? Because all the women were super great to each other, and no more cat fights and no more BS. Like, let's do this.
You know, I hate when I look at these reality shows and the first thing the girls do is throw a shoe or a drink. I'm like, I'm in a restaurant every night. I never see women throw drinks on each other. Like, I don't know where they get this stuff from on TV, right? Like, the go-to move is like throw a drink. I'm like, I never see this in real life.
Yeah, I know. It's not how it rolls in my house, but it's a spectator sport, reality TV. So, you know, when you have a camera on you, you're going to act the craziest to get the most camera time. And I think ever since, like, you know, Jerry Springer and Morton Downey Jr. and all those shows came on, people realized that people had an appetite. You know, sometimes it's wrestling, it's theatrics, and people love it. So you can't fight City Hall. That stuff is, people love it. But
people love that stuff. You know what? I love Jerry Springer. You know, I just had a versus with Ja Rule that's similar. We was doing song for song, and I had to play into this character, even though I love this guy to death. And we had to like almost do WWE. And then at the end, we hugged each other. We said, we love each other. You know what? It's to have the engagement of the fans and have everybody root for their favorite artists. You know, you gotta do a little bit. You gotta play into that.
Yeah, it's theatrics.
A good question, Mike, because you grew up in Hollywood. Who are some of the kids you went to school with that became like actors and in big movies? And
I didn't really go to school very much. I was mostly on like set schools, and then I got emancipated when I was 14, became a legal adult, and never went back. And I lived in an institution before that for a year and a half. But I didn't really go to school. Whenever I was there for like a week or a month, I think, you know, the other kids were like, oh, you're special because you get to come out of here. So it wasn't a part of my, but so I don't know any kids. I went to school with one guy. His name is Jim. He's a director. Loved him, and he was like a nerd like me. Now he's a cool director. Made Freaks and he's just a really creative genius. And he's like the son of this guy Lawrence Kaplan, one of the great writers, and he wrote Star Wars and, you know, made all the Big Chill. And anyway, he's like the only person I know that's out there working. Went to school, Jake Kasdan. But I also went to school with Breckin Meyer, who was in Clueless and a bunch of movies. He played Birkenstock. And he was like my first boyfriend. That's one. My first kiss, too.
Your first kiss?
Yes, he was my first kiss. I was his first kiss.
How old were you when you got the first kiss?
Oh my God, I don't know. 9?
You know, my daughter's 15, man. I swear to God, I'm gonna kill somebody, Drew.
I know.
I better not hear about a first kiss.
No, I know. It's again the Doberman. I mean, I can't even handle it. I can't. I can't. I'm with you, Joe.
You know, for years since she was born, I would drive down, especially in LA, right? I would drive down in LA and look at the bus stop and see 2 teenagers, and one of them got the slick back hair, and he's talking so smooth to the. I be like, when I catch that guy who's talking to my daughter, I'm gonna tear this kid apart. This is scary, right?
I'm gonna send you a few numbers now that we're BFFs. Please help me, because, you know, I will never hide my life from my kids. I'm so proud of everything I learned and experienced, because it's what led me to be like chaste, like conservative, pillars of appropriateness. I wouldn't know all those things if I hadn't tried so many things, but I'm so traditional and want them to be and wait and take their time. And what I guess I'm trying to do is I've come full circle in my life after trying everything under the sun and raising my son, mistakes and learning, being my own job creator and all those things, is good girls are where it's at. And so help me, Joe, just keep my girls on track, because good girls are where it's at.
Listen, let me tell you something, man. You're a boss, an executive. And I saw you when we did the show. I didn't want to bother you enough, but because I see you calling the shots in the nicest way. Like I see you running through things, and you was like, "Oh no, we're coming in through here. We're shooting it like this with this." That's your thing, huh? You like to call the shots. You like to control your situation.
I don't want to I'm sure you have a vision of how you want it done. So it's always a matter of making sure that vision is being executed, but never, ever, ever being disrespectful or acting like you know it all or speaking to someone which isn't empowering, and can still get all done. But the point is to recruit and not alienate. And so that I'm really thoughtful about, because I wouldn't want someone talking to me like that. I would get into Doberman rebel mode, and it would just piss me off, and I would want to take that person down. So I'm more about, the goodness and the joy.
You asked me. I think I'm the best boss in the world. Everybody's doing good. I don't bother nobody. I barely know anybody's name. If I do say, "Can I have a word with you?" there's a problem. Because otherwise, if you're working and you're doing your thing, I don't bother you for nothing. "Hey, how's everybody?" Or if I do like, "Let me talk to you for a second," there's a situation. Like because I want to be the coolest boss in the world. I want to be the nicest guy. As long as we all know that we all share one common goal, to where we want to uplift each other and want to see everybody win. Everybody, women, men, the same way. I mean, I tell all the guys that work with me and the ladies that I want to see them as bosses. I want them to own their own businesses. I want them to own their own companies. I don't want to be one of those guys to have a worker for 20 years. I want you to grow, and we only get one life. So I want, I'm that type of daredevil that'll take a risk. You know what I mean? And I want other people to do the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been around you too, and you are good to people. You are kind and wonderful. And the next time anybody messes with my kids, or I think they're messing up, I'm going to send them to you so you can say, "I'd like to have a word with you," and scare the pants off of them.
Yo, Drew, you got the crew in New York now. In LA, they call it checking in. You all checked in New York. You good to go. You can tap dance anywhere around there. They know Drew's with Joe. She's good. Trust me when I tell you. She's good. Shout out to my brother Emmanuel Lewis. You remember Webster?
I love Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. We used to do fun Hollywood things together, like some show or event. I love Emmanuel. He was the best. You are the best.
Yeah, that's my friend, man. He's my good brother. I sit with him and I ask him stories. Usually people ask me stories, but when I get with Emmanuel, I ask him all his Michael Jackson stories. And he be talking, and I be like this with the popcorn, the 5 in the morning. I won't let the man go to sleep. I just be like, "Yo, Emmanuel, tell me another one. Tell me another one." It's amazing.
He is good. You were always so nice to me, and it meant so much. Every time I see you, I just have the best. Hello, Emmanuel. It's been too long.
Yeah, Drew, thank you for coming on the show. I love you so much.
Love you.
You have all my info. Anything you need, please let me know.
I the minute that we met, everything about your energy magnetized, and I just wanted to be around you. I want to be around you. I love this developing friendship we have. It means so much to me, so real. I am here for this, here for you.
Yo, Drew, we love you so much, man. And what's crazy is when we took you in the projects, everybody knew you. All the guys came out, yo, Drew, we love you. Yo, Drew, like you're a big hit out there. Everybody don't get that
I'm
love
so
like
glad.
you. You got that love.
So do you. I mean, you say Fat Joe and everybody flips out. It's very rare to have that much of like an ambassadorship that you have, which is a testament to your goodness.
All right, I love you, Drew. Thank you so much, man. God bless you.
God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Drew Barrymore. Come on, man. You don't know who I know. You don't know who I know. Like, come on, man. Like, what a pleasure. You turn on your phone, Fat Joe's on there with Drew Barrymore. You don't know who I know. Listen, God bless Drew. She is the sweetest, kindest person in the world. I don't want to end this without saying, and this has nothing to do with Drew, but breaks my heart to see what's going on in the border down there in Texas. And we got to get this thing straight. What's happening to our Haitian brothers and sisters down there. Breaks my heart. I pray to God we fix the situation because, you know, love, peace, humanity, man. It just breaks my heart what's going on out there. Please make a change down there. We do not need that energy at all. Listen, everybody. Team Massage, what's up, y'all? Yesterday's price is not today's price. Yeah, I was gonna get there. Shout out to my brother Drake. Shout out to Khaled. Oh my God, Team Jordan. If you were wondering in that picture where me, Drake, and Khaled are staring, what's up, Timberland? Timbo the King are staring into this phone. These are pictures of Khaled's next sneaker, Jordan sneaker, huh? He said what? We was looking at nudes. Get out of here. We was looking at sneakers. The only thing could make me look at something like that is sneakers. Diti Barber, what's up? It was amazing. Cousin Miriam, what's up? It was amazing. Khaled got the illest sneaker coming out soon. DJ Juanito, what's up? Look, let your darkest moments bring your most clarity. If you ever go through something, it can be a bad relationship. It can be brush with the law. It can be financial. It can be whatever. And your so-called best friends and your family members turn their back on you and they're not there for you when you need them. Don't lie to yourself. These ain't your people. Move on and get around some better people that really love you for you. God, we put God first all the time. We put God in good and bad times. Everybody waits to pray to God when something's going bad. But just know you got to pray to Him all the time because God is with you all the time. And a lot of times He shows us lessons. And we say, why me? Why am I going through this? And the truth is, it's really a lesson to prepare you to go to the next level. Melvin Moore, living legend. Drop. What's up, Drop? We do that video soon. Raul TS. I love you guys. We the biggest in the game. Thank you for checking in. Thank my sister, my new BFF, Drew Barrymore, living legend, icon. We the biggest in the game.
Ghost Entertainment, I darkest society never see. No jokes, a stubborn real man, mule. Scotchy talk your mind.
Chaka P, never know me have so much bad mind, friend. Kill me star Scotchy consignment. Chew me I help myself. Them want see me life and Scotch.
Get the youth,
Them know we firmer than them. Them know so we full of confidence. Build me circle, me never beg no strength. Freestyle and it's very evident. Watch them. I dead them one we dead. Run gun, put a milli on me head. But Jaja nasty, nasty.
We start out as hide and seek. No, me can't avoid her, she can't avoid me. And every time when me hug her up